As I mentioned at the top, the script for Flaxy Martin is a catalog of crime movie tropes, each more goofy than the last. The lonely woman who inexplicably falls for the fugitive stranger, the couple on the run who are handcuffed together, the world's most nearsighted cops manning a roadblock, the hoodlum who hurls his gun when it's out of bullets, the lights-out gunplay at the climax. Writer David Lang had used these cliches before in the B pictures that were his specialty, from crime programmers like Midnight Manhunt and Traffic in Crime to low-rent adventures like Northwest Rangers and Jungle Flight. And he'd keep using them relentlessly in film and TV. Lang kept on spinning yarns until 1968, when he penned his last script for Bonanza, then one of the most watched shows on television. Now, the script wasn't the only derivative thing about Flaxy Martin. Composer William Lava was lucky he didn't get sued by his colleague Alfred Newman. Lava repeatedly uses a 5-note melody cribbed directly from Newman's composition Street Scene, first heard as the theme to King Vidor's 1931 romantic drama of the same name. Newman recycled the tune for 1941's I Wake Up Screaming, and it soon became a staple of the studio's noir dramas, an oral signifier of the big city in films like The Dark Corner, Kiss of Death, and Cry of the City. Lava varied the Flaxy Martin theme after the first bar, but I can easily imagine the two composers getting into a dust-up some night in the Brown Derby over this bit of sampling. Richard Baer had been entrusted with making Virginia Mayo the hottest new star at Warner Brothers. He directed her previous films, Smart Girls Don't Talk, as well as Flaxy Martin. But it was her next film that was the big hit Warner's was looking for. Mayo scored great notices as Jimmy Cagney's two-timing girlfriend Verna in the Raoul Walsh-directed White Heat, where she carried on a dangerous affair with Steve Cochran behind Cagney's back. Mayo admitted she wasn't always acting in White Heat. Cagney's antics as psychotic crook Cody Jarrett really did scare the bejesus out of her. Now, as Hollywood turned away from noir stories in the 50s, Mayo appeared mostly in westerns and costume dramas, colorful spectacles intended to counteract the increasing appeal of television. Following the death of her husband, actor Michael O'Shea, in 1973, Mayo only appeared as a guest star in the occasional TV show or movie. In the 1950s, Flaxy Martin co-star Dorothy Malone nudged her way toward stardom, even though she rarely had a leading role. In noirs such as The Killer That Stalked New York, Pushover, and Private Hell 36, she was still playing second fiddle to bigger stars like Evelyn Keyes, Kim Novak, and Ida Lupino. But when Douglas Sirk cast her in the hothouse melodrama Written on the Wind, he had Malone's hair bleached blonde, and suddenly her career entered a whole new phase. It helped that Malone's performance as wanton heiress Marilee Hadley brought her a Best Supporting Actress Oscar. Not that the Academy deemed to include her in the memorial segment of its Oscar broadcast when Malone died in 2018. The slight made Dorothy Malone the only Oscar-winning performer to be neglected in an in memoriam segment since the Academy began doing them in 1994. Next week, I'll be back with a film featuring two stars rarely associated with noir, Ginger Rogers and Doris Day. They co-star with future President Ronald Reagan and the Elvis of noir, Steve Cochran, in the 1951 suspense drama Storm Warning. As always, go to our Facebook page or Twitter feed to let me know what you thought of today's picture. Until next time, see you in the shadows.